Alright, welcome to another Warhammer Fantasy battle game. This is my Bretonnians versus Ogre Kingdoms, and this is, again, another game just trying to learn 8th edition rules. So, as is typical with 8th edition, there seems to be a lot of terrain here. The structure in the upper left corner affects spellcasters. I think it gives you like 4 times as many chances to channel, but you have to be within 6 inches of it. So it really didn't affect anything in the game. Those woods were mystery woods. When you entered into them, we found out that it gives you poisoned attacks or something like that. And all those buildings are normal buildings except for that castle, which is like a dwarven brew house, but it basically makes any unit within 6 inches of it stubborn, which came into play hugely in the game. So you can see, broadly speaking, how the deployment went. And it's kind of funny, it kind of looks like it's Bretonnians defending a village and ogres coming in from the woods. So he's got Noblars, and those empty bases in back mean those are Noblars there. So that's 5 by 5, 25 of them. Iron Guts with his Tyrant General. He's got a Scrap Launcher in back, some more Iron Guts with his Battle Standard Bearer. Some Bulls with his Butcher Spellcaster, and then he's got those Lead Belchers in back. And my initial impressions in looking at that list was, oh my gosh, where are your points? It looked like there was nothing out there. So I put this. I'm using this custom-made Grail Relique as a trebuchet until I decide whether or not I'm going to buy another one. So there's a trebuchet in my lower right-hand corner. I've got 12 Knights Errant with the Infantry Banner. I got 11 Questing Knights with a Damsel and with my General. He's the green one in front. The General has a re-rollable 1-up armor save, and he has the sword of, for every enemy character in base contact, he gets +1 attack, +1 strength. So 6 Knights of the Realm with my Battle Standard Bearer, and all he really has is a re-rollable 2-up armor save. I've got 39 Men-at-Arms with a level 2 Damsel. And the first Damsel on the horse had Lore of Life, the second Damsel had Lore of Beasts. I've got 15 archers set up behind that wall and my other trebuchet. So he goes first, and the Noblars move into the house. Is pretty much the easiest way just to move through there. Otherwise, he moves up, as you can see. This butcher over here picks on my my peasants. So I start off with 15, and I'm down to 9. So he kills 6 of them, and amazingly, I don't have any leadership nearby, and they still pass their panic test. So, which was kind of funny how it played out, because at this point, on his next turn, you're going to see him turn away from them, as seeing that they're just really not really worth the trouble over here. So Brett, turn 1. My big unit of peasants are now in that building, even though it looks like they're in the bottom middle. They're not. They're in that building. And again, it was just the easiest way to move past it. It's just to step into it, and then my next turn I can step out of it if I want to. My damsel can cast out of it. That's fine. Otherwise, I move my knights up. Enough so that I should be able to charge next turn if I want to. There's another look at things. Yeah, not sure why we have all those pictures everywhere. And we go to Ogre's turn 2. So his Noblars come out of the house, and they're right in front of my Knights Errant. His General's unit just kind of hangs back. His other guys just stand in the woods. He knows that while he's standing there, he has poisoned attacks, and if I charge him, at least my front rank is going to have to take that dangerous terrain test. And we don't really know how that works in terms of my back ranks that get to fight, because technically the models don't have to enter the woods, but in theory, if they're fighting, they would have to be in the woods. So I don't know exactly how that's going to play out when they put out the errata on the rules or anything. But anyway, he's sitting in the woods knowing that it's going to be a little bit risky for me to charge him there, and otherwise he moves up, as you can see. So on turn 2, I made a number of mistakes here, just not being used to the rules yet. Number 1, if you look at the far right, my Knights Errant charged the Noblars. They fled, and what I didn't think about is I could have, and probably should have, just gone ahead and declared a charge against some other unit. I would have passed my leadership test, because that would have been on a 9, so I should have passed that. And then, like, let's say I declared against his General's unit, which is the second one from the right, next to the Noblars. Then at least I'd be facing him, and I wouldn't be in such an awkward position. My failed charge would have put me in the middle of the house, so we just kind of assumed that I stopped at the house, and my guys are just awkwardly sitting there. I should have redirected the charge towards the General's unit and be facing towards the line of battle still. So something I'm not used to, so I'll learn hopefully learn from it and do better next time. Now over here, what happened was pretty cool. His unit of bulls there in his magic phase, he gave them regeneration. So I shot my archers at him, and I did, I think, a wound or two. But because they have flaming arrows, that means he doesn't get the benefit of regeneration the rest of this magic phase. So then I dropped a trebuchet on him and just annihilated the whole unit. And when you think they're protected with regen, and then all of a sudden you don't have it, and the whole unit goes poof. That's got to be pretty frustrating. So Ogres turn 3. This is where I just made massive mistakes. For one, his general's unit declared a charge against my knights errant. I fled, and you'll see later on what happened there. He charged out of the woods at my unit of Knights of the Realm. Here I stood, and actually because I'm within 6 inches of that building, I'm not only stubborn, but I'm immune to psychology, so I couldn't have fled even if I'd wanted to. But regardless, he got the charge on me there, so that's kind of ugly. Yeah, so what happened here is when he declared his charge, and I said I'd flee, I rolled, and I didn't roll very far, but the tip of my unit hit my trebuchet, and so when I bounced out on the other side, because my unit was 4 ranks deep of cavalry, my guys, the front rank of them was off the board, and so the whole unit went poof. It was just silly, just a silly mistake. Bad deployment and a bad choice. And so that's going to be ugly. These guys have impact hits, they have stepping up attacks, so all those guys in the back row get 3 attacks each, strength 6, and because we played it wrong, at the first turn of combat, they got their stomp attack as well, and we didn't realize till later that doesn't count towards cavalry. So he lead belchers opened up on the men-at-arms, killed a bunch of them, which is fine, and he killed I guess a total of 3 Knights of the Realm. He killed 1 previously. So we go Brett turn 3. Lower right hand corner, I take the damsel out of the unit of Questing Knights. She's just casting Lore of Life spells, and every time she gets one off, she can heal somebody. I couldn't charge my Questing Knights into those Iron Guts because I couldn't see them, so I just backed up and angled. My men-at-arms, they're out of the building. No, they were out of the building last time. They charged his lead belchers who fled. And this is just an awful picture, but basically, the round 2 of combat, all my guys are dead, but my battle standard bearer has a 2-up rerollable, and his champion, we're in a challenge, he just can't get a wound on me. And I'm losing combat, but I have 2 chances, and I'm stubborn with my general nearby, so I'm stubborn 9 rerollable, so I'm not going anywhere in a hurry. So he's got that whole unit just sitting there frustrated because he can't get past my BSB. So we go to Ogre turn 4 in the next segment.